Welcome everyone to the meeting of South Huron Committee of Adjustment. The meeting is called to order at 5 o'clock. First item of business is to appoint a chair. Are there any nominations? Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to nominate Member Neeb.
And do I have a seconder? Member Dietrich and Member Neeb, do you accept?
Yes.
Perfect. So Member Neeb, Chair Neeb, you may proceed.
All right, the next item of business is to appoint a vice chair. Are there any nominations for vice chair?
Nominate Member Dietrich.
And I'll second that.
I'll accept.
Yeah.
And sorry, just to proceed back, we do need all in favor of the previous one. I do apologize. So, so for the first one, which was to have Member Neeb appointed as chair for the 2024 Committee of Adjustment, moved by Member Oak, seconded by Member Dietrich. All in favor? Carried. Perfect.
Okay. And the second item to appoint a vice chair, we have a mover and a seconder. All in favor? And that carries. Okay, next item is number 2, disclosure of pecuniary interests and general nature thereof. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest at this time? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to approval of the minutes. I'll ask the Secretary Treasurer to read the recommendation.
That South Huron Committee of Adjustment approve the April 17th, 2023 and June 19th, 2023 minutes as printed and circulated.
Okay, do I have a mover? Moved by Member Dietrich, or Vice Chair Dietrich, sorry, and seconded by Member Oak. All in favor? And that motion carries. Okay. Item number 4, purpose of the meeting, and I'll ask the Secretary Treasurer to read that.
So the purpose of this public meeting for the South Huron Committee of Adjustment is to allow presentation of applications for minor variances and to allow interested members of the public the opportunity to ask questions or offer comments with regards to the applications. Written comments must be submitted to myself, the Secretary Treasurer of the committee. Should any members of the public like to be notified of the Committee of Adjustments decisions on the applications, they are to provide their name and mailing address on the registry located by the door, or they are to contact myself directly to be added to the registry. Members of the public do not have the right to appeal the decision. Only the applicant, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, a specified person under the Planning Act or public body that has an interest in the matter may appeal the committee's decision.
Okay, and we'll move on to item number 5, minor variance D13-MV01-2024 Armstrong and Runge. And I'll ask the Secretary Treasurer to read the notice.
The notice for minor variance application Armstrong Runge was sent on February 20th, 2024 to property owners within 60 meters, 200 feet of the subject property and to agencies requiring notice.
Thank you very much. And we'll move on to the planner's report from Selena. And congratulations, Selena.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. We'll just get my screen loaded here. Let's see. Okay. Thank you. So as noted, this is minor variance application MV01 2024. The address here is 6 Sherwood Crescent, right in Exeter. The owners are Bill and Linda Armstrong, and the applicant on their behalf is Matt Runge. So the applicant for this application is proposing 3 minor variances, and this is in order to facilitate the construction of an attached garage. The first variance is a proposal to reduce the interior side yard setback for the main building from 1.5 meters to 0.61 meters, and that is to accommodate a proposed attached garage addition. In tandem with this side yard setback reduction, the applicant is also seeking to increase the encroachment of the eaves and gutters on the east side of the attached garage to the east lot line, and that would be from 0.75 meters to 0.07 meters. And then finally, the applicant is also seeking to reduce the interior side yard setback for accessory structures. That would be from 1.5 meters to 0.46 meters, and that is to recognize 4 existing sheds on the property. So this is a 2020 aerial photo of the property. It's just outlined in in red. The attached garage is proposed to go on the east side of the house, and the committee will note that the southernmost shed on the east side of the property visible is proposed to be removed in order to facilitate the development. This is in a residential area of Exeter. Surrounding properties are similarly used for single detached residences. This property is designated residential in the South Huron official plan and is zoned R1 or residential low density in the South Huron zoning bylaw. This is just a photo of the subject property. We're looking north from Sherwood Crescent. And this is the site plan submitted with the application. It shows the removal of that shed mentioned. And finally, here are elevation drawings submitted for the proposed attached garage. So following circulation of this application, no additional comments were received from members of the public or from agencies. The applicant did submit with the application a letter of support, and that came from the property owners to the east, and they did not submit additional comments following circulation. So as the committee is aware, minor variances are required to satisfy 4 tests under the Planning Act before they can be approved. And to be approved, they must be considered to be minor, to be desirable for the appropriate development or use of the land, building, or structure, to maintain the general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw, as well as the general intent of the official plan. After deliberation on this, I am of the opinion that these variances can be considered minor and appropriate. What this came down to for me was the letter of support received from the neighbors to the east, the design of the attached garage, and staff's comments indicating no concerns. From a privacy perspective, the attached garage has no windows or doors proposed for the east side. And additionally, there is a fence along the east portion of the property line that is the approximate height of the existing sheds. Staff did not provide any concerns pertaining to stormwater or drainage, which is relevant here. And additionally, the individuals most potentially impacted by the development have indicated that they do not have concerns. It's these particular circumstances that allow for these variances to be considered minor and desirable. It is noted in my report for the committee and for the applicant that should the east property to the east be sold and those neighbors change, it could be challenging to maintain the east facade of the garage given its proximity to the east lot line, but it would be possible from the roof if necessary. The variances do maintain the general intent of the South Huron official plan and zoning bylaw. The intent is that this property be used for residential purposes, which will continue should this variances be approved. From the street facade, the residence will continue to remain the focal point of the property, and the proposal is in conformity with all other provisions of the zoning bylaw. So accordingly, I am recommending that MV 01-2024 be approved, subject to the standard conditions requiring that the proposed garage be constructed in general conformity with the sketch and elevation drawings that accompanied the application, and as well that the variance approval be valid for a period of 18 months from the date of the committee's decision. So that would conclude my presentation, and happy to answer any questions of council or the committee or the public. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Selena. So we'll move on now to comments or questions from the public. Are there any comments or questions from the public? Nope. Seeing none. Are there any residents online that would like to speak to this application?
I do not believe for this application, no.
Okay. All right. Seeing none, are there any questions or comments from members of the committee? Member Dietrich or Vice Chair Dietrich?
I just have one question, and maybe I'm being nosy, but what would be kept in them 3 storage sheds at the rear there?
Just,
But they're still going to remain there, right?
yeah, the one's been removed, there's just 3 left, yes.
Right.
Sorry about that, Bill.
Yeah.
If
The
you-
one's been removed that I was asked to remove, and the other one's just got like snow blowers, lawnmowers, garden tools, a little workbench in there type thing.
I was just checking. I didn't know whether they had a grow op back there or what.
No.
Thanks. Are there any other questions or comments from committee members? Yep, Member Oak.
Thank you, Chair. Just noticed that this is not just strictly a garage, there's gonna be a laundry room in it as well? And is that gonna be hooked into the regular, I assume, into the sewer system?
Yeah, it's gonna be a mud room and laundry room. And I've had approval from Mr. Giberson on how it's hooking it up.
Perfect. And, yeah, and yeah, and just the concern, if the neighbors ever change, trying to do something on the eaves trough or anything on the side of the building, if hopefully the neighbors are as flexible if they ever change. So, yeah. But no, I'm good otherwise.
Are there any other comments or questions from members of the committee or the public? Okay. Seeing none, we can proceed on to the next item and the motion and the decision. I'll ask the secretary treasurer if she can propose suggestions for the motion.
So some suggestions would be 3A, public comments were received in support of the application, the effect of which resulted in a decision to approve the application. And 2B, no agency comments were received on the application, so there was no effect on the decision.
Okay, that sounds good. Are we all in agreement as far as could I have a motion to accept that proposal? Moved by member Oak and seconded by Vice Chair Dietrich. I'll call a question. All in favor? And that motion's carried.
Can I just make one comment?
Yep.
Just one question on the 18 months. Is that now I know in some cases we've gone as far as 24 months just to make sure that I just don't know the construction timeline that you were looking at. Will the 18 months work to get it done? Okay. All right.
And that's Mr. Armstrong nodding his head. Yeah. Okay. We'll move on now to item number 6, minor variance, D13 MV02 -2024 Lake Huron and Elgin area water supply. And I'll ask the secretary treasurer to read the notice.
The notice for minor variance application MV02 2024 Lake Huron and Elgin area water supply was sent on February 27th, 2024 to property owners within 60 meters, 200 feet of the subject property and to agencies requiring notice.
Thank you very much. And we'll move on now to the planner's report. And Selena, you can start whenever you're ready.
Thank you. So as noted, this is minor variance application MV02-2024. This property is located at 71155A Blue Water Highway. The owner is the London City and Trust care of Lake Huron and Elgin area water supply. The applicant on their behalf is Melissa Chow with Stantec Architecture Limited. So this application proposes to decrease the minimum required exterior side yard setback from 7.5 meters to 1.2 meters. And this is in order to facilitate the replacement of an existing garage with a proposed administrative office on the site. In the case of the subject property, the exterior side yard is considered to be the lot line adjacent to Waterworks Road to the north. So here's a 2020 aerial photo of this property. It is outlined in red here. It's located just north of Grand Bend and is along the shared South Huron Blue Water municipal border. It fronts onto Highway 21. The yellow box there outlines the existing garage, which is proposed to be replaced. This property is designated community facility and natural environment in the South Huron official plan, and it is zoned community facility and natural environment in the zoning bylaw. So this is a photo of the property looking southeast from Waterworks Road, and you can just see the garage visible there from the left of the entrance. This is a site plan and it shows the proposed office in blue there along the north boundary. These are the elevation drawings that proposed the application for the proposed addition. And this is a 3D rendering of the proposal submitted by the applicant. After application circulation, there were no public comments received. Agency comments from Asawal Bayfield Conservation Authority have been received since this report was written. They've indicated that they do not have any concerns. So as noted, we are applying the same 4 tests for a minor variance to this application as the one prior. This application can be considered minor and desirable for the appropriate development of the property. The existing garage already has a reduced setback of 5.38 meters. The site is constrained by the layout of the existing maintenance shop and security gate to allow for the administration office to be moved to the south. The intent of the exterior side yard setback is generally to ensure adequate space for landscaping, stormwater management, spacing between structures, as well as providing adequate site triangles for traffic at the intersection. Municipal staff have not expressed any concerns as it pertains to stormwater management. The addition will remain on the south side of the existing fence, which will reduce visual impacts off-site. The site triangle at the intersection of Blue Water Highway, Waterworks Road and Dashwood Road will not be obstructed by the proposed development. Additionally, the variance does maintain the general intent of the South Huron official plan and the zoning bylaw. The intent of this property is that it's to be used for community facility use. The official plan recognizes water facilities and public administration offices as community facilities, and so this use is in keeping with the official plan. Further, the use will contribute to providing water servicing to the wider community. The zoning bylaw echoes the provisions of the official plan in that it does permit public buildings and uses, and the addition will follow and comply with all other applicable provisions of the zoning bylaw. As of today's meeting, we have not yet received formal comments from the Ministry of Transportation or MTO. The applicant has indicated that she did have a chance to connect verbally with MTO and it did not appear that they have any concerns with the proposal. I'm going to continue to recommend that this application be approved, but it is noted for the committee and for the applicant that should MTO comments be submitted at the time of site plan approval requiring a rework in the design of this structure, it may require additional relief down the road. So I have recommended that this application be approved, subject to the standard conditions noted prior, being that the structure be constructed in compliance with the site plan and elevation drawings. I will note that building staff have recommended a bit of a tweak to the expiry wording for this application. And that recommended tweak is that it state that site plan approval be obtained within 24 months of the date of the committee's decision. That is just reflecting prior experiences dealing with similar developments in terms of ensuring that development can proceed forward without hitting that expiry date. So I'm happy to answer any questions of the committee or of the public at this time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Selena. Are there any members of the public that are online that wish to speak to this application?
There are some members joining remotely. I believe they are part of the application. I'm unsure if any of them would like to provide comments, but if any of the individuals currently online are interested in speaking, please turn your camera on and unmute yourself.
Oh, very good. Would you like to introduce yourself and make any comments or questions?
I'm Tom Kyle from Stantec Architecture on behalf of the applicant. I would just only add that the applicant did consult with the residents committee, Highlands One Community, and on February 28th, and generally received positive feedback.
Okay, thank you. And are there any other comments from members of the public? Feel free to unmute and state your name and make any comments or questions.
Marcy, did you want to speak?
Hi, I'm Marcy McKillop. I'm just here representing the applicant, representing Lake Huron Primary Water Supply System, if there's any specific questions for us as the applicant.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, if there's no other comments from members of the public, we'll move on to comments and questions from the committee. Are there any questions or comments from committee members? Okay, nope, seeing none. We'll move on now to item 6.5, the motion or decision. And I'll ask the Secretary Treasurer if she can propose any suggestions on the motion.
So suggested proposal could be 2A, no public comments were received on this application, so there was no effect on the decision. And 2B, no agency concerns were received on this application, so there was no effect on the decision.
Okay, thank you very much. And members okay with the suggestions for those proposal? Member Oak?
Just a question. We did get an agency comment. The ABCA did respond. Did they not, Selena?
Through the chair, yes, we did receive comments from ABCA prior to the meeting today.
And sorry, Selena, are they in support of the application or was it just no comments provided?
Essentially, just no concerns, no comments. My understanding is it's out of their regulated area, so basically no further comments from them.
So that wouldn't necessarily change the.
And that's fine. I just wanted to clarify that just to make sure we're still good with our decision.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay, we'll move on to the recommendation that minor variance D13-MVO2-2024 Lake Huron and Elgin area water supply be approved as per the attached decision sheet. And do I have a mover? Moved by Vice Chair Dietrich and a seconder moved by Member Oak. Any discussion? Call the question. All in favor? That motion carries. And move on to item number 7, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Member Oak, seconded by Vice Chair Dietrich. Call the question. All in favor? Huzzah. Thank you very much, Selena, and thank you very much, Alex.